Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Rock the Mic podcast, all hip hop all the time. I'm your host, Mike. I got my man Justin in here working on the camera, and of course, I got the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, my guy Sofanity. What you got on your shirt, man?
Hey, man. I don't know if he'll catch it if I stand up, but I should just do the whole interview like this.
He's kind of dripping right now.
Yeah.
Look at him, but the J's on his feet and everything. This is my guy Sofanity. This has been one of my good friends since 6th grade, and we beef a little bit sometimes, but that's just because we're brothers, man. But I want to ask you, how are you doing? Well, first of all, thank you for being here. I'm really glad you're the first guest on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing all right. You know, just living.
Just living?
Living, man.
You just turned 21. How do you feel about that?
Man. Man. I don't know. It's still I'm still trying to like get used to it. Like right. I'm actually 21. I can do stuff that I couldn't do before. Like I don't know. I'm still getting used to it.
Grown man things.
Really.
It's an adult.
Really. Yeah.
And that's a scary statement. So Xavier Swain is an adult.
That is
a legal adult. That's a little scary. But all right, man. Let's just start at the beginning. What made you decide to start making music?
So, I would say everybody knows my cousin. They know Arion. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, as he goes, T1 Swain.
Yeah.
Because he makes music. He was never like really like. I'd say he's more now acclimated as an artist, like with like publicly and doing things like that. But I've always been surrounded around music my whole entire life, things like that.
Right.
So, and I've always been that person who's always like, just went. I don't know how to like word it, but I just went with music. Yeah. And I felt like this is somewhere that I can achieve, but I never knew how to do it or just how to like get into that point, just get to the equipment and everything like that.
Right.
But I remember just in like I was saying with Arion, he would like record music here and there back when we were kids in Virginia. And we made this one song. I was like in elementary. I was going by the name it was either Z Breezy or Z Weezy. It was like
that's a throwback.
Yeah,
that's a throwback, man.
And it was me and Arion did a song on like Lil Wayne's How to Love. We did a cover. Mm-hmm. I was on the hook. You know, I had like a little high voice back then, and I was just on the hook. And ever since then, I mean, it just like I took a break. I mean, obviously I wasn't like continuing with it.
Yeah. But
then I get into high school, and I think I started making music like 16, 17, and I'm just like feeling like, I mean, I'm not doing anything else. I have a job, but I'm like, why not try it? Why not try to see what happens if I go along with this? So I make. I get software. My software I first used was Audacity. But I just, from Audacity, all I did with the first song I recorded, everybody knows, I sent it to both of y'all. Yeah. It was Nevada. The song was trash. I don't know where it's at now. I can't find that song. The song is trash. But ever since like my first song, Nevada, like I recorded that off Audacity. There might have been some edits on it. I think I looked up a tutorial, like a little, like how to master your voice a little bit, but I didn't master it. And I just felt like ever since Nevada, obviously I've grown as an artist. But yeah, what got me into the music part was just, you know, just always growing around it and feeling like I could add something to it, putting my own little flair or whatever onto it. So that's really just how I feel like.
So you mentioned you and Arion did a song over How to Love. That's like a melodic type of song, you know. It's a love song.
Yeah.
Everyone that, you know, if you're a fan of hip hop, a fan of Lil Wayne, you know that. So when I describe your music to people, that's actually a perfect lead into my next question. When I describe your music, I usually say you make similar music to Nav. You're wearing the Good Intention shirt right now. Juice WRLD a little bit. Kind of Drake, like when he's in his R&B bag a little bit, and then even Cole when you like start to really get into it, like telling the stories and stuff like that. Just because you have a similar sound to these guys, similar lyrical content. Would you consider them to be any of those guys to be an influence on you? And if not, is there any other artists that may influence you?
I feel like anybody, like everybody I've listened to, that I've always like taken certain characteristics from them. Like,
right.
Just obviously, if I'm looking up, if we go off of based off tapes, if you want to go off of like the So vs. the World 1, the song I only dropped on SoundCloud. I mean, most of those beats are like Gunna type beats and Migo type beats. But other than that, just like the bass, based off of like my sounds, I really try to experiment. I try to experiment with different things. You know, I got that one Pop Smoke type beat on there.
I was telling you that that was my favorite song on that tape.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And I got a Pop Smoke type song out. Just really, if I've messed with an artist, I'll try to figure out how to make an edit for that specific type of artist. Like, I'll try to, if I'm feeling like with the Pop Smoke, I'm like, oh, Pop Smoke's kind of cool. Let me look up Pop Smoke edit for whatever software I'm using. I think at that time I was still using Audacity. Yeah. And I was looking up just like, but I don't even think I looked up an edit for it. I think I just still rocked with my original edits, and that's the thing that I do with most songs. It's just I might change my voice or change the way that I'm flowing on the track to try to fit with that certain type of characteristic for that artist, things like that. But just music in general, I feel like I take characteristics out of anything that I'm listening to, or whatever I feel like is going off at the time.
So you don't have like a direct influence. You just say like everything.
Yeah, I feel
Okay. I know you mentioned like you're not doing like you're working, but other than that, like you're just making music, just hanging out, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm making music. I'm trying to start getting back into that gaming side of things.
If y'all don't know, this dude he plays games too. Go check out Sofanity Gaming. That's all. Just check it out.
I try like really if there's just like something I feel like I can try and do, why not try it? You got one life to try things, why not try all of them at once? Right. And or at least just try it and see if it doesn't work out and things like that. And I mean, since 16, 17, 2021 now, and I'm still doing the music thing, even though I'm not where I want to be. I'm still doing it.
So is that what you want to do? That's my next question. Music, is that what you want to do as like your career? Or is that just like a side hustle?
Yeah, it's not the goal. Okay. But if something does pop off with it, I wouldn't like mind taking up with it. But.
Okay. I know you're just mentioning. I'm kind of like backtracking a little bit too, just going back to some things you had said. You were using Audacity. You don't use Audacity still, right?
No, I haven't used Audacity since that What's Left 2 tape, and I don't know. It became at an inconvenience.
Okay, so what do you use now?
Now I literally record off my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like voice memo?
I do BandLab.
Okay. So how does that recording process like actually work? Like, do you find the beat first, or do you write first, or?
It's still similar to the Audacity stuff, but the thing with Audacity that I disliked was that with Audacity, it's not me being able to punch in. I have to record my whole. I have to have a hook ready, so I have to do the hook. I have to do the verse. And I have to go just off that, and then I have to do edit by edit with BandLab. I mean, I just get the beat, put the beat in. I go to the effect I want to use. I put it on the track. Put the auto tune with it. It automatically picks the key for me, so I don't even have to look up the keys anymore. Okay. But then I just go punch in. But with BandLabs, every song is just a freestyle.
Okay. So that's how it is then.
Yeah, since that Four Verta tape, everything has just been like that, just punch in freestyles.
Okay. And I had an old podcast. Most of y'all listening probably know. I had a podcast that I had through school, and towards the end of that run, I was covering a lot of Sofanity. I was talking about I talked about Days Before, What's Left 2, and then Four Verta freestyles, and I think there might have been another episode where did you drop something else? This like recently, or was it just those three?
Four Verta freestyles, yeah.
Just those three?
Yeah, it was just those three.
Okay. Whenever I had talked about What's Next too, speaking of the hooks.
What's left, yeah? What's left too?
Yeah, I was saying about the hooks that they're like very. It's like it gives me a vibe like 50 Cent. Like his hooks are always catchy. They're very well written, and like. They always stick with you, and that's how I compared your hooks. So like I feel like there's they're very well written. And I know you were just saying that everything's kind of off the dome and everything, but like, so when you do sit down and actually write, does the hook come first, or does the hook like inspire the verses a little bit, or how does that play off each other?
Man, it's I remember. So I'm gonna just backtrack onto. Now I'll talk about it. Probably be a question about it later. But okay. So when I just get the beat, I just listen to the beat. I try vibing out with it for a second. I listen to it. I'm like, all right, cool. Sometimes I'll download the beat, it won't work, and I'm like, all right, cool. I gotta trash it. But if I get the beat and I'm like, cool, I start going off the top of the hook. Okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is rocking. And then from that, if there's a subject that's in mind when I'm making a hook, I'll probably rap about that subject throughout the song. But other than that, I'm just going off of whatever's coming up.
Okay. And this next question, Justin actually came up with this question when we were on our way here, because Justin and I drove here together. Your music, you're clean in your music. Like, you don't really ever curse in your music. And the only other rapper, there's a lot. I mean, there's like Christian rappers like that don't do that, but like rappers that aren't necessarily like Christian rappers, like Rakim is like an older dude that like he never really cursed, and like that's like the only person I could really think of other than you. So what Justin wanted to know, why don't you curse in your music, and is it your intention to not curse, or is it just like your personal preference? Like, what's the deal with that?
I feel like obviously if there was like to answer the question, I just don't do it because like I know my mom's gonna hear the track.
That's
you feel me? And
that's
I feel
a good
like,
point. We don't want her.
I feel like my mom's gonna hear the track, but she's
Shout
gonna
out
listen.
Shout out moms.
She's gonna listen because she's like my number one fan. She's gonna listen, and I don't want her to just be like, oh, why do you say that? Because I don't even curse. Like, I don't curse in front of her, and I don't say nothing to her and things like that. Obviously, but that's out of respect, and I just feel like it takes more skill for you to not curse in your songs.
That's true. That's a good point. You're gonna
have like you just got blah 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 all this blah that, but they're just saying it over and over again. And
it's real easy just to say like fuck and bitch and N-word. Like, it's real easy just to fill that in.
And and it's like, I just feel like those are just fillers. Yeah. At that point, and I'm like, all right, cool. It works with the way that y'all want the stuff to work. But I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna just come up with a different type of thing, and I can't say in the future like I won't come up with like just get to a point where I'm just like, bruh, forget about it, just do it. But as of right now, I'm still cool with just the. Like, it's not a thought. Like, when I'm recording, I'm not like, bruh, if I would have said that instead of this, like, if I could say that, it's not a thought. Cause
you don't need to.
I could say it. Like, I know I could. I know I could go on these tracks and say it, but it's just like, I really just, I don't know. Ever since the beginning, because I did it real young, 16, 17, like I was saying, I couldn't do it. Probably, like, I probably wouldn't have been able to release those tracks. But it's just like, now I could go in there and say it, but it's just like, I've already set a name for myself not doing it. So I really just don't feel like it's needed.
Okay. I and the questions I had written, I had said, I'm not sure if you remember this, but you actually just said it. The whole thing with Nevada, how you called me, how you called Justin. And I forgot it was Nevada. I thought Line Up was the song that you had called us for, but I guess it was Nevada. Yeah. I'm sure you probably called me for Line Up too, but I think that was like the first one. Yeah. You played it for me, asked for my opinion. So it's been a few years since that song came out. It's not on anything anymore.
No, I don't even have it. I think I deleted it.
That's a classic
if I could listen
song.
Back to it, I would. I don't even think I have a Relax or Nevada or a Line Up anymore.
I was thinking about Relax earlier too. That was
Don't Complain. I don't have that one either. I lost all those. I don't know.
Don't Complain was a. Justin knows. That was a good one. Don't Complain was crazy. You didn't like Relax. I'm kind of going off script here. You didn't like Relax. Even at the time, you didn't like Relax.
Just chill, relax. I can't really remember the lyrics. I just remember that hook. But
that was big in the PS4 parties, though.
Those man. I remember the way that Nevada came up, like first song, obviously wasn't. But from Nevada to Relax and Line Up, there was a drastic difference. Mm-hmm. Obviously, yeah. I mean, it still wasn't like top quality, but there was a drastic difference. Like Line Up was, I was proud of Line Up. I was really proud of that song,
Right.
And then from Line Up to Don't Complain, it was an even more drastic difference. And I was really proud of all those songs. But it's just like, I felt like I deleted them mainly because I was like, they're not moves.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's actually, you kind of answered. I was going to ask, why did you delete them? But that kind of answered my question. But also, kind of answered it, but also kind of didn't with that other question, which is like, how do you think you evolved since then? Like, not even with just the recording process, but like, have you evolved as like someone that can really like talk about certain things? Because like, at least in the beginning, in my opinion, it was just like you were just kind of rapping.
I was just saying stuff.
Yeah, but now in like your newer stuff, you're like telling stories and like making me feel like I went through a breakup. I'm in a happy relationship and I'm out here feeling like 808s and heartbreak over here. You know what I mean? So like, how have you evolved in that sense?
I feel like it's just more with like maturity and growth, and I was just rapping at the beginning, even though my stuff at the beginning, they might have been longer songs and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, like, it was because I was just saying stuff. It didn't even like, it might not have even made sense. I was just saying whatever like rhymed together and it was just going. But now it's just, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I could actually talk about stuff that I've seen, talk about stuff that's going on, talk about whatever, talk my talk even. And it's just like, but it all makes sense at the same time. And I don't know, I just feel like it's the growth and maturity aspect into me having more experience into it.
That's real. That's respect. That's real.
Yeah.
You delete, like we were just saying, you deleted a lot of songs, a lot of classic songs. But there's a story about one that I don't know if you know what I'm about to ask you, but there's a story behind one that I really want to. Justin's laughing too. I want to know. I'm gonna let you finish that first before I ask you. I want to know the story behind Motorola Stick freestyle. Oh, yeah, we want to know. That's because that's a classic story, and I want everyone to know. I've
never released that. Other than I've sent that to like friends. I've never released it. I probably should just drop it one day just to do it. Bro.
But what's the story?
So we're in the party. We're in the PlayStation party. Shout out to my boys Spur Milk, or what we call
Spur Milk. Yeah, that's the other Justin.
The other Justin. We call him Spur Milk, Sour Milk, whatever, bro. We love that dude. We really do.
Facts.
Even though he don't be in the party half the time, but we love that man. He had a Motorola, or he had like something. So it wasn't an iPhone, so at that point we calling it whatever. We calling it the Android, whatever he got, and it would just be. It was like.
It was beat.
It would make one of them Android type sounds.
Yeah.
And we would just be like, we just in the party, just, bruh, Motorola, just turn that Motorola off. And I remember, like, I think I was just playing Madden, and I was just like, I just said Motorola Stick, and I just kept saying it, and I was like, Motorola Stick. And then I was like, I started like freestyling with it. I was like, bro, I'm bored. I was like, let's just do something. So I heard it was Price on My Head.
Yeah.
But I didn't listen to the full, like, it was Nav's Price on My Head beat. I didn't listen to the full album. I just heard, like, I was skimming through the album one day. Because I was like, I'm going to sit down and listen to this album. Because I'm, like, a huge Nav fan. I was like, I was in the car. I was just skimming through, listening to the beat. And I was like, cool, the beat's fire. Downloaded the beat off YouTube. And then I just literally hooked up to Audacity. 15 minutes flat. That was that freestyle. And then I was like, I remember I came back, I went in the party, and I was like, I made this. And I mean, it wasn't that bad, honestly.
It was good.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It was just funny, like, because of us.
Yeah, it was funny because of the party. And it was something I never released. But I might low-key just, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't want to make it like an actual song, but I'll just do something with it.
So you, like, this is actually leading into my next question, the Motorola Stick topic. You use the Nav and Weekend Price on My Head. Usually you just rap over, like, just random producers on YouTube's beats.
Yeah.
But for this song that only we knew, you used, like, a famous rapper's beat. Is there a reason why you don't usually rap over those? Like you wouldn't rap over a Drake beat. Is there a reason why you wouldn't do that?
I thought about, I mean, obviously it's going to be that's going to be like a major copyright if I rap over somebody's beat and put it on like Apple Music or something like that. I could get copyrighted now with the stuff I do, but those are like actually their beats. But I'm pretty sure like I could make a beat or I had an idea one day that I was just going to take like random people's beats, like random beats that were like clean and fire that I thought were like nice, and I was gonna rap over them, then drop them all in like a SoundCloud tape. But I would only be able to drop it on like SoundCloud.
Like, are you talking about like a Kendrick beat or like a Cole beat?
Just anybody's beats.
Okay.
Like I have a whole playlist on my phone. Like
I see. Okay.
Like a random beats. I think I got Kodak, Tunnel Vision on there or something like that. But these are like, it was like a plan back then.
Okay.
But I mean, I really haven't thought about it now. I mean, I might still do it one day, but.
Well, I was gonna ask you, would you ever consider doing that?
Yeah, probably, but as of right now, it's not something I'm like focused on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that could be how everyone hears Motorola Stick.
I could
throw it on there. Do you still have it?
Yeah. It's private on my SoundCloud.
You got to drop that for real.
I might.
Or just send me the link, honestly. Because I need that. So I'm like I'm one of the, like, I don't want to brag nothing. I've been following Soph since the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I've heard, if you dropped it, I've probably heard it.
Yeah.
And I know Justin is the same way. I have a top 5. When I was working on these questions, I thought of my top 5 Sofanity songs. And no order, I would have to say Outstanding, Move, Freestyle, Don't Complain, which we just talked about, What Do You Do, and Mirrors. Those are probably my top 5 songs. Do you have a top 5 or even 3, like, or even a favorite song by you?
3, or my favorite song probably, it's probably one of these privated songs I got right now.
Uh-huh.
It's called Scoozy.
Uh-huh.
I got but that Lotta That that's coming out, that's
we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But on this next tape, whatever I drop, I don't know when I'm gonna drop it because I just don't know. I'm still trying to get everything like figured out with the songs and everything.
Yeah.
But I got a song called Scoozy I rock with. But that's out right now. My favorite song, probably that Key to My Heart 40 Bottles. That's probably like,
that's a good one.
That's probably one of my favorite because it's just
that's
like that.
Really, Justin, y'all can't see it, but Justin's over here singing the lyrics to it, like lip syncing it right now. That's
that 40 bottles. But for a hype song, probably like something I'll be like, if I have to go back and listen to it, I'm like, yo, this song gonna get me right. It gotta be Move.
I was gonna say Move took, like, we went to Hopewell. That took the world by storm, bro.
Really
at
did,
school,
man.
Between that and Don't Complain were like 2 of the craziest songs.
Yeah.
People were playing that, like, you didn't even know people that were listening to that.
I'll get people on Instagram to DM me about it, and I was like, oh, right. I was like, nice, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You really got to drop.
I gotta get.
Don't Complain again. Like, you got that got to come back.
I don't even know if I got it, honestly. I don't know.
I've got a video of me and Owen Bidner listening to that in Mr. Howard's class.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have it anymore. I might.
That hurts to know.
Yeah.
So we just talked about Ariane earlier, T1 Swain. We talked about him a little bit earlier. So shout out to you. I gotta get you too, Ariane. I'm gonna interview you too. Do y'all inspire each other? Like, is there some kind of like camaraderie there?
Yeah. Yeah. Me and him, we want to get stuff, like we want to get songs together and things like that. I mean, we've sent each other stuff, but it's just like stuff doesn't really work out or things like that. But,
okay.
Like I said, like I played him my tape, and he was like, "Bro, I gotta get on one of those." And this is like, the beats are too short for him to get on it or something like that. Yeah. But it's like, it's kind of hard. Like, it gets to a point where it's like, if I know I'm supposed to make something that I gotta send him, then I think too much about it.
Yeah.
But if I'm like probably flowing off of something and I'm like, "Bruh, I need somebody else on this," it'll probably make more sense. But me thinking about it, structuring something is when like everything gets more like confusing and stuff like that. But
so y'all have talked about it before, obviously. Yeah. Is there any reason other than like the beat's too short that it didn't work out, or is it just like, is that it?
I've probably sent, because I've sent him probably like some trash stuff that he was just like, yeah, I can't get on this. Or I mean, me and him kind of do have like different rap styles too, but for me to get on the, like, because me and him, our music's, we have like, I'd say the stuff that he makes now is, if I had to like try to put myself in that similarity, it'd probably be like what I made on So vs. the World 2. And I do
it's
try
a
to
different vibe, kind of.
Yeah, I try to get back into that So vs. the World 2 bag at sometimes, but I really feel like I can't. Well, not that I can't, but I'm just like at a different type of.
Like, you're too evolved.
Yeah,
kind of.
But I feel like I could get back into it. It's just I don't know. You know. Nah.
Nah, Arion gotta get into that what's left bag.
He said he wants me to send him stuff like that too, but it's like I don't even know if I want to get back into that. That's different.
That's a different animal,
I want to get back into that.
That's a different animal. That's a crazy. So, not even Arion, but like, you haven't done features before, as far as I mean, you haven't, right?
No.
And no one's popped up on your stuff. Is it because of the for you, at least for people coming up on your stuff? Like, is it because the beat's too short, or is it just because you want to be you?
For me, I just feel like, I mean, I really don't really know many other artists out there, and then the artists that I do know, I personally just feel like they're trash. Honestly, I just feel like the other artists that I know, they're just they're just trash.
Wow.
It's like,
that's crazy.
I don't feel like putting them on my stuff. Like, I'm fine with putting Arion on the song. Arion's a good artist, but it's like, I mean, most of these other people, I just don't. I feel like it wouldn't make sense for me to. I don't want to have somebody like, I don't want to hit somebody up and be like, bruh, I know you're bad, but get on my stuff real quick, just to get that promotion. I want my stuff to always sound like, I don't know,
like good.
Yeah, I want
for the lack of a better term.
Yeah, I want my stuff to sound good.
And is that why you don't pop up on other people's stuff?
I know. No one really asks me. I don't really get anybody, but
why not,
it
bro?
might be the same thing towards me. Like, they probably think I'm trash, and I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not really, like I'm saying, I don't have the best equipment and stuff out there, but
I mean, I think it sounds good for like,
for what
you're basically doing it
with
for free, pretty much. Like, it's not like you're going to a studio and like it's all, you mix it, you master it, you do it, you write it, you don't make the beat, but like everything else, like, it's all you, and I think it sounds good. It's super clean.
I think, like, if there's any artist that I probably would want to work with, obviously Arion, but another artist, we all know Amari. I feel like I could probably get something with him.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I haven't seen him in a minute, but I talked to him about doing an interview too. He said he was down.
Yeah.
We were talking about him in the car, Justin and I. Is there any like big artists you would want to work with?
Big.
Like
I'd have to be big. Obviously, everybody want a song with Lil Baby, but Lil Baby at that point, he's gonna take over your song. He's gonna take your song over,
bro. Like he took over Wants and Needs. He took over Pride is the Devil. Like, I don't know if I would want, cause like Lil Baby's like, that's like Kendrick on Control, bro. Like, that's like
like he takes your song. That's his
fair.
Song now.
It's not even fair. But I mean, that was.
But I'm kind of like, I kind of like the kind of not having features and stuff like that. But if
like
I had to, yeah.
What did you think about Off Season?
I still haven't really listened to it. Like, only time I listened to it was when I was cutting my hair. But I felt like,
you cut your own hair?
Yeah, I cut my own hair. But I was sitting in I played it on my speaker, cutting my hair. I listened to the whole tape. I was like, wow, this was short. And then I was like, he did not need to drop this. I was like, he didn't need to drop it.
So you weren't messing with it? Or
I wasn't like,
you just didn't.
I was just like, bro, this didn't need to be dropped. But.
Okay, I didn't know. Wasn't expecting that. Well, because I just wasn't really expecting it from that. I thought, because real ones that have been following us for a while know that we did a review of KOD a while back.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We did a review of KOD and we were all loving it. At the time. Now it's been probably 3-4 years since KOD came out. I don't feel the same way about KOD, personally.
Yeah, I don't. I don't even think I have it saved anymore.
Yeah, I didn't. I liked it at the time, but like now looking back in hindsight, that thing is kind of. It's not the greatest thing I've ever heard. It's a couple good songs, but like. But yeah, but I thought the off season. I like the off season.
But another thing with that tape is like, I don't really listen to. If I'm listening to music, it's probably my own stuff. Like, I'm listening to like probably my unreleased stuff, and I'm like, because I'm trying to think about if I could add something to it, or is there a way I can tweak it and make it sound better with something. Because when I'm in a car, that's literally all I'm listening to. Like, when I was here, y'all pulled up, I was listening to my stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if not listening to that, I'm probably just driving to work and I want to listen to something, probably just like whatever, and I'm like, I don't have enough time to listen to this. When I'm in the house, I'm either like, I'm not having my headphones.
And I feel you, because I haven't actually sat down and, because like we were all in college, like it's like we have way too much going on to sit down and really listen to stuff like we used to. Like, I think Off Season was probably one of the first albums I've actually sat down and listened to for a while. So I feel you on that, actually.
And I wanted to sit down like as I'm going to bed listening to it, but it was just like, I mean, it never like really crossed my mind at that point because I'm going to bed.
Right. So. And actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit more. We were talking about influences. There's one specific one that it never really clicked in my head that this was an influence on you until you got into like the What's Left bag. And it never really clicked with me. But for years, I'm a big Kanye fan. And we would talk about it, and you would always tell me 808s and Heartbreak is your favorite Kanye album. And I'd be like, yo, you're bugging. But, like, I get it now. Because, like, that's the type of music that you make. Like, that's the type of, like, heartbreak, painful, like, music. And, like, that's, like, what you... So I never really understood it until you started making your own stuff. You know, those themes of heartbreak and pain, they've been present, especially in like What's Left and What's Left 2. It's always been in your work. And that's something I really appreciate about your music. Like, you're transparent. And I've said this on the other podcast too. You're very transparent with how you feel, the emotions you feel, and also the emotions you evoke out of like listeners. Like, I was even, like I just said earlier, like, I'm in a committed, happy relationship, and I'm like, sitting in a room in the dark, like all sad, like that's how it is, like that type of thing. Do you think telling these stories is easy for you because it's like you're telling the story of you, or is it like kind of hard for you to revisit your personal memories?
So I'll just go off of both tapes, because both tapes, even though they're on the same like level, they're both different. And like, well, at different times in my like life. The first, probably What's Left, it was all like both of those tapes are realistic. Like, this is stuff that really happened. But it's like the first What's Left was probably like, I'm obviously talking about, you know, relationships, hardships, anything going on in life, or in my life specifically. But it was like multiple things going on. And this What's Left 2 bag, it was just like, mainly I'm going off of what's going on with one female and things like that. And it's like, I just feel like that music was what would help me out most. Instead of going to somebody and telling people about whatever's going on in the relationship, I'm like, bro, let me go ahead and hook up this. Let me hook up in my little closet studio. And talk about everything going on. And it's
like therapy.
It comes to a point where it's like, are you telling too much? But it's like, it's still coming off like, you should do this. They gotta hear this. They gotta experience this. And I think that comes from me. Like, Juice WRLD is a huge he's an influence in my music, of course. Like I'm saying, like I get influences from everybody, but when I'm making tapes like that, the Juice WRLD type stuff is really what's influencing me. Where you talk about your love, like the X type stuff is getting like really influencing me with all that. The slow, like melodic, all that type of stuff is really what I'm rocking with and I'm getting into. I really don't. Personally, for my happiness, I don't like being in those bags, because right now I can't even listen to What's Left 2. I can't, just because
because that's not where you're at right now.
Like, I can't even listen to it because it's like that, but it's also like I don't even want to think about that type of stuff anymore.
You don't want to go back to it.
I don't want to relive why I made those songs and things like that.
I
would talk to Roger's not here, but I'll talk
shout
to Roger. Yeah, shout out to my boy Wade.V, man. Shout out. But I would talk to Roger about it, and he's like, based off of the song, I made songs way before anything, like, I would say something in a song that never happened yet, but the thing would happen, and Roger would be like, bro, you're predicting the future with this.
That's crazy.
And it's like,
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, because I'm not rapping about this stuff as it's happening. I'm rapping about this stuff. And it's like, right now, at that point, it's just like, okay, cool. Then it happens, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
So we get to that point, and then I drop the tape, and I kind of feel like I rushed the tape at the same time. But I felt like it was my best tape at that time. But now I feel like I rushed that tape. Mainly it might be because of like how I feel about the certain like aspect and the reasoning behind that tape now. That might be why I'm like, I kick it so much. But I don't know. That tape is What's Left 2 is for sure, in my opinion. I mean, that's
a classic.
Like, darker than the What's Left 1.
I would agree with that. I think What's Left 1, that's the one with the Take Care cover, right? What's Left 1 is definitely more like I don't want to say happier, but like comparatively to What's Left 2, What's Left 2 was definitely a darker. I agree with you. It's definitely more personal.
Yeah.
I would say. So, but anyway, so my next question for you. There's two Sofanities, in my opinion. There's two of them. There's the What's Left Sofanity, who's like telling these stories about, you know, love, heartbreak, all that stuff, introspective. And there's So First the World, Soph. And I would even say Days Before as well, a little bit, which is like in your bag, like headstrong, bragging.
Yeah.
So, do you find it easier to rap from one of these perspectives? Do you find it easier to rap from one than the other?
I find it easier to rap about me being like that What's Left, or not What's Left, but the versus the world type. Like
right.
I find that easier because it's me telling y'all like really like this isn't what's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I find that one easier than me telling y'all about something that's so subjective into one thing. Like this is, y'all know this is meant for the relationships or whatever's going on in my life at that point.
Right.
That's what that's meant for. But me talking my talk is like this been like this. Like don't forget. Like okay. Like I can't.
Yeah,
forget.
this happened,
like,
but
this is like, I'm
still that dude.
Yeah.
So you find it easier to rap from that perspective.
And I'm thinking that's like that's probably like what's gonna be my next tape. I'm not like I'm saying I'm done with the What's Left. I mean, there's gonna be probably more sad stuff that comes out. Like just if I feel like getting into that bag, but I'm like that What's Left 2. I just can't go back into another type that like a type of title like that. If I do make something else, it'll be titled.
So it's not gonna be a What's Left 3. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, we're done with What's Left.
Okay.
Which sucks at the same time though, but yeah.
But for you, that's like
it feels like I'm giving up a kid. It feels like that's like I'm passing something on, and it's just like, but I have to. Like I have to.
This is the last question I have for you regarding What's Left. So one of the things I really liked about him, was it was like a whole story throughout. It was a story. It was start to finish. And one of the things that really helped tie that together was the voicemail interludes, which I don't think those aren't actually someone calling you, right? I mean, all right. I know Rod Wave stole one from you. I know that.
Yeah, that did happen, man. Yeah.
Well, first of all, if that's an actual voicemail, that's a violation.
That is
that's a violation. But where did that idea come from to like include them?
Because it's like I don't think at that point I don't think Juice WRLD I don't think he dropped that Good Riddance tape where he had the voice, or was it Good Riddance where he had voicemails and skits?
Is that the one with Lucid Dreams on it?
Yeah, I don't think he dropped that yet. Because I think I did the voicemail stuff before. Because I did but it was, I just got the idea from just me thinking like, how can I tie this in and make this tape better? What would make more sense for me to do?
Right.
And
to like tie it all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with What's Left 1, I just had that one call, which was the introduction, and I wanted people to feel like at the beginning of the tape, I want you to understand what this is. I want you to know what the rest of this tape is going to be lined out for. So the first call is I just want you to know I cheated, and I want y'all to know this is what's going on in this tape. Like I'm about to tell, like, and then What's Left 2, I have like I think 2, 3. I don't remember how many.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in that one. But I got the first introduction, like phone call, and then we got the I think it's Go Away. We got a call in there. So
I don't know what just happened with the lights, but
nice.
Just keep it moving.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
But yeah, that's. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, well, you said it was just like to kind of like tie it all together.
Yeah, it's basically just it's the presentation aspect, which I like to be creative with everything I do.
Yeah,
it's the presentation that I'm just trying to give y'all this. Like, I need y'all to know this is what this is for. Yeah.
Well, you're right. First of all, if that's an actual, you wrong for that, bro. I'm just gonna say that right here. You wrong. You wrong for that. But also at the same time, like that's kind of a flex too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know someone was mad right now. That's but we're off that. But now, so a lot of that's about to come out. I think a week from today.
On the 30th. Yeah, we got 7 days.
By the time this comes out, it'll probably be out but I don't know when I'm releasing this episode yet. I still gotta edit it.
Yeah.
I still gotta kind of promote it a little bit. But so a lot of that might be out already. If not, listen to that on the 30th. If it's out already, just listen to it because it's hard. I just want to know, like, let's talk about that for a minute. How did that song come to be? Is that you kind of getting out of that what's left bag?
It's like I've never really promoted For Verta freestyles like that. I mean, I rock with it.
I like
it. It's I never really promoted it as much as I don't promote anything as much as I should. Like I really I don't do music videos and things like that. But
that would be
I did a like I was thinking and I was like, bro, I want to make a music video for something.
Yeah.
And I was like, but what could I do? I need to make something that's hype, people could relate to. Yeah. And just me talking that talk, getting into that. And I was just with a lot of that without like giving away too much of it. I don't know if this will be out by then or not, but shoot, this video might drop on the same day it drops.
Right. So I might even time that.
But
anyway,
yeah, just a lot of that is me just. I feel like I could make a video for that, but I gotta see how it does first. I wanted to not drop it. I wanted to just drop a video, just drop the video with a lot of that in it.
I see. Okay.
And like that be my first ever video because I still don't have a video yet, but mainly because I'm trying to figure out who to get with. But I want to have effects in it, and that's gonna cost.
Get Kev to do it.
I could. I don't know. I probably. Yeah, I could hit him up. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was like, you
gotta throw him a bag.
But I know that. But I'm like, I don't want to.
That's not a problem.
I don't want to pay like $800 though. I don't want to pay like $800 for a video though.
No, Kev wouldn't charge you.
Stupid. But.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna charge you. He's working. But all right. Whether a lot of that is out by the time y'all are hearing this or not, I don't really care because there's a line on here that we were just talking about. I might pack my 12 and just start airing it if that line just went over all y'all heads again. And I heard that. I was sitting there. I was right before I went to work because I filmed this right after work. I'm sitting in the car listening to a lot of that. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I sit back in the driver's seat of the car. I'm like, man. I'm like, he did it again. Because he always does it. So, man, you always do those type of bars. Like, I might pack my 12 and just start airing it. Like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I said Hackers. I said I'm like Rodgers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you said there was an ad-lib. I
said I might pack my 12, then start airing it. Then I was like, I'm like Rodgers in the ad-lib.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Well, that's a whole nother layer.
In this, like on Apple Music and on Spotify, like if like the lyrics are synced with the song, so it's like it's going to show up with.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know. Yeah. That. I didn't even hear that. I listen on SoundCloud, so I don't. Well, obviously, but you know, Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, number 12. But at the same, that's what I'm saying. At the same time, it could be about the gun. Like, so it's like the double entendres. You always have those, and I just want to know, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you come up with these crazy bars like that?
I was talking with Ariane about it, and I was like, bro, sometimes I just be coming up with stuff I don't even know where it came from. He was saying the same thing. He was like, bro, some stuff I don't even like. How did I think of that?
Yeah. And
I don't know. I just feel like because in that what was that one song? I think it was that on For Verta. I think it was that What Do You Want? Like I forgot how I titled it, but I said something about. They gonna look for eggs in baskets. I got heads in caskets. Y'all
don't even know. That's called bars, bro. I remember I texted you about that too.
I said something about Easter. I said Easter Sunday with it. And how I'm keeping leverage. They gonna look for eggs in baskets. I got heads in caskets. But crazy. It's just like I feel like I always. That's the maturity aspect of me getting into songs. Like I need to give y'all bars though. I can't just be rhyming. I got to give y'all stuff that y'all like. That is gonna stick with you, and you have to like. Just remember that.
Remember stuff like that Aaron Rodgers line, which is crazy. Double entendre, bro's like Jay-Z out here, like with the double entendre, triple entendres. Like I gotta get like that. I really gotta get like that. So you had a hell of a run, bro. Like 2021. You dropped What's Left 2 days before. For Verta, you about to drop a lot of that. You've just been dropping more music than some rappers have even dropped within like 5 years. Like, that's crazy. But even on Twitter, you're saying like, or I think you might have deleted them. But even on Twitter, you were saying like, I'm not done. Like I still got more in the trunk.
I
but
got
like,
a lot to prove, man. I do. I have a lot. Not even to prove, but I have a lot more that I feel like should still be. Like I feel like I don't get the credit that I deserve.
Right.
Really, but I feel like I'm gonna have to keep dropping it to get that credit so people understand. Mm-hmm. And I do want to get to a point where I upgrade all my equipment. And I was gonna say after I make this one tape, I'm gonna take a break and try to really focus in on upgrading my equipment. But I just don't know what's gonna go on and things like that. Because I do want to get to like a point where I'm really making good music. Like this is ready for radio type music.
Right.
Because I'm not there. I'm making stuff that's decent, or this is better than your. I don't know. For me, my ears are always different because I'm the one who heard it since raw vocals, me saying it to when it's done. Mm-hmm. So I'll always feel like whatever I'm dropping, I always feel like it's good. But I listen back to some stuff now, like older stuff, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I dropped that. But I mean, always constant improvement is how I feel. So is there more? So you were saying you were coming out with more. Is there more coming this year? Like you got another project? Yeah.
I know you said you were gonna take a break, but I feel like you got to ride that momentum a little bit.
I have a few songs right now, and not ready, but I have a few songs that I've recorded. And I think like whatever my next tape's gonna be, I think I'm gonna title it Sagas.
Okay.
And it's like
Rock the Mic exclusive, bro.
Yeah.
Sagas.
I think I'm gonna title it Sagas, and there'll be like a whole story behind for it. But when that time comes, I'll talk more about it. But
okay. Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Soph, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate you being here.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Justin, appreciate you working the cameras. Thank all y'all for listening or watching if you're watching this on YouTube. Really appreciate all y'all. This is Mike, Rock the Mic podcast, all hip hop all the time. We out.